We're going to talk about promoted listings again, especially how I save some money on them and how you can save some money on them. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Polish Pete, eBay reseller based in UK. I will try to record this video, but I'm still in the middle of COVID, so I'm very weak. So please forgive me if I look like piece of you know what. Today I would like to talk about promoted listings again, in particular about my own strategy of using them and how I can sell my items via promoted listings, paying well below 5% fee. But before we start, if you will enjoy this video, please don't forget to click that like button anytime during watching and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so yet. First thing, I would like to answer the viewer's question. Why do we have suggested rate and how this suggested rate is calculated? So in my opinion, the only reason for having this suggested rate is for eBay to make more money, full stop. There is no other reason behind it. Just think for a moment about it. Let's go back to 4 years ago, 2019, 2020. Everybody and his brother here on YouTube was saying use promoted listings, promote everything at 1%, and in my opinion, vast majority of people done this. How many of us? I don't know. My thoughts will be 80% of us were on 1% or slightly above 1% in that point in 2019, 2020. Obviously, there were certain categories where it was much higher, but in general, I think that's what it was. eBay people were frustrated that their cow gives only a cup of milk every day, so they wanted more. So they came up with 3 ways of forcing us to ramp up those promoted listings. So they have raised minimum from 1% to 2%, and suddenly all those people, vast majority of people who were at 1%, suddenly they started to pay twice as much. Twice as much. They have doubled their revenue just by this decision. And they added postage to the calculation, while before it wasn't there. So again, under the cover of this first hike from 1 to 2%, they gave us another hike, adding postage to calculation. And nobody even noticed it. Not many people at least noticed that. Either to say these 2 moves doubled eBay revenue from promoted listings. And the third idea that they had was to start to show people suggested rate. People are sheeple in my opinion. They love to follow. People in general love to take advice because it's so much easier to take advice instead of think for themselves. That's not people's fault. This is how our brain works. I do the same. We don't want to exercise our brain when there is a ready-made solution right in front of us. And this is why the world is full of charlatans, who take advantage of that. This is why people voted Brexit in this country, because they have been said that Brexit is a miracle, a panacea for all the illness. And people believed in that because people tend to follow. So eBay has figured out, well, if we will show people suggested rate, at least some of them will follow. How do they calculate it? I don't know for sure, but I bet if I have to bet my money, I think it's something super simple. So let's say somebody in eBay asks, what is the average promoted listing rate for this kind of items? It's 5%. Okay, so let's suggest them 7. And that's it, simple. Somebody will follow, and suddenly that average rate raises up from 5 to 6 because some people hiked it up to 7. So when it's 6, they will suggest 8, and some people will follow, and that average rate will go up to 7. So they will suggest 9. And again, some people will follow and average will go up again. And that's how in a matter of 2-3 years, for items that I sell in UK, suggested rate went up from 6% to 17. Yeah, 17. This is absolutely ridiculous, and that has happened only by that suggested rate, by the fact that people will follow. Now guys, it's vital to understand that the higher you go with your rate, the less profit you make. Some people, I watch some people on YouTube and I think they still don't understand that. I'm sorry for that cough. I still have a feeling that people don't understand that you don't have to really promote at super high level to start losing money. Just think about it. Most resellers operate at about 50% profit. I mean, after all said and done, yeah? I do about 40-45%. So if I sell 100, something for 100, at the end of the year, I've got 40 to 45 as a profit. Yeah, after all my cost is deducted. Fees, postage, diesel, phone, rent, electricity, broadband, cost of goods, everything. Yeah. Now imagine if on top of everything else I would promote at 20% and people do promote at 20%, suddenly my profit at the end of the year is significantly lower. Instead of having 40-45, I'm having 20-25. So what? My profit has halved. I didn't promote at 50%, I promoted at 20%. And my profit has halved. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is your bankroll. That's it. We do it for the money. We are not doing it because we like it, because we enjoyed it, because we want to give those items second life. Yeah, that's all important. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is if you can buy bread or not. Back to the topic. To understand how you can pay less for your promoted listings, we have to cover some basics. We all know that promoted listing impressions can be displayed in search results and in non-search locations. I hope I don't have to explain that. I start to see on YouTube people that are finally catching it. Guys, we have almost no control to where our ads are displayed. I say almost, and I will explain that in a minute. On top of that, we don't even know if the sale that we've just made was from search placement or non-search placement. We literally know nothing, and we have close to no control over promoted listing impressions. We don't know how much to pay to get into those search results, top of the search results. We've got that suggested rate that suggests us how much to pay to get to those top search results, but it doesn't guarantee that at all. And many people believe, or at least assume, that that's what it is. That suggested rate guarantees them that top search results. There is no place on eBay that says if you promote at this suggested level, you will be on top search results, guaranteed. You only have a chance to be there. And guys, this is the con of the century. The con of the century. This is much better than Great Train Robbery. Yeah, I must admit that I strongly admire eBay people, how they have played us. Most people treat search results, non-search results as garbage impressions. People bash them. They say they don't want them. They say to other people, you don't want them. You have to lower them. You have to get rid of them. And This is where eBay makes tons of money. Tons of money. Honestly, what if I have told you that this is the place where eBay makes billions of dollars every single day? Sorry, every single year. Because people are sheeple and they tend to follow. So everybody and his brother wants to be in the top search results with their promoted listings. But unfortunately, that space is limited. Not everybody can be there. eBay is overflowing with items to sell, for sale. Rates of promoted listings have skyrocketed, and eBay has never promised you that promote at this level and you will be on top of search results. Remember, no matter how high you go, there is always somebody more desperate than you and ready to promote higher. If there is no one like that, it means that you are the most desperate for sales. So say you promote at 20%, hoping to get to the top of search results. You make sales on regular basis. You are super happy to give eBay half of your profit in fees. But like I've said, there is only limited numbers of those search placements. And we don't even know where our ad was that has converted into the sale. We don't know if it was from top of search results or if it was from that garbage placement. What if you are paying 20% to be on top of the search results, but at the end of the day, half of your items is selling from that garbage placement? And you don't know it because there is no way to know it. And if you are selling half of your items from that garbage placements, you are paying well over the odds because you can get that placement for really, really cheap, way much cheaper than 20%. Also, you don't know when you look at your analytics in your traffic tab, you don't know if those top 20 search results that you can see there, are they promoted or are they organic impressions? You don't know that. eBay doesn't show you that. So these may be your organic search results, or vast majority of them may be your organic search results. So you end up on the garbage placement, because in my opinion, this is not garbage placement. You end up on garbage placement paying for the premium placement. eBay has fooled people that if they will promote high, they will end up in the top of search results. And then they are showing their items in non-search results, charging premium for garbage. And you don't even know that this has ever happened because you can't see it in your analytics because there is no number that shows that. And you could be in that garbage spot for a fraction of the cost that you have just paid. But you can't diversify your ad fees. You can't say, I will pay 20% for a spot in search results and I will pay 3% for a spot in non-search results. That would be fair, but it isn't fair. eBay says you've got only one rate, and we will decide if we're gonna put you in search results or in the garbage placement. It's literally like eBay was selling fake Nikes. You pay premium to get proper Nikes and you get cheap Chinese knockoffs. This is absolutely brilliant in my opinion for eBay, creating that image in people's minds that they are paying for a top spot, giving them rubbish spot in the same time. And they are still happy about it because the less they know, the happier they are. Also, there is no such thing as a middle ground. You are either paying high to get to the top search results, or you are in the garbage results. You are in the garbage placements. Yeah? So if you are paying 20 to get there to the top, and you can have the garbage placement for 3%, it doesn't matter if you pay 5, 7, 10, 12. You are still in the garbage placement. That is why people can't see positive results when they are ramping up their promoted listing fees, because they are not ramping them up high enough. Because if they only ramp them up to be in that middle ground, they are still in the same spot. They are still getting their impressions in those garbage spots. No matter if they pay 2 or 3%, or if they pay 12, because 12 is not enough to get to the top. So they are still in the bottom. And they are just wasting money. Wasting money. This is absolutely brilliant from eBay's perspective. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, if you have a bar that is 5 foot tall and you have to jump over that bar, it doesn't matter if you can jump 2 foot up, 3 foot up, or 4 foot up. You have to jump 5 foot up to go over the bar. And improving your jump from 2 foot to 3 foot gives you nothing. From 3 foot to 4 foot gives you nothing. You have to be over 5 foot to make that jump. And it's the same. It's the same with promoted listings. So I have decided years ago to apply a different strategy. Like I've said in my first video, you need to trick the system if you wish to pay less. So I deliberately went and targeted those garbage placements. A sale is a sale. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If it comes from top search results and if it comes from garbage spot, it's still the same sale. You still get the same money for it. People keep complaining about those sponsored items being showed on their listings, and because customer can buy something else instead of their item, somebody else's item. I'm that someone else. I am the one who people run out from you and go to me. And I pay peanuts for it because I deliberately target those places, paying peanuts for them. The problem is the solution. Stop complaining on those ads being shown on your items page and start deliberately targeting them. Steal more sales that you get stolen by somebody else. If these are so good that you are complaining about them, why aren't you targeting them? What if I have told you that when you go to my listing, many times in those 2 rows of sponsored items, between the top and the description, a lot of those sponsored items are my own listings. So that gives me a situation that when customer says, no, I don't like this item, I'm gonna go for this one that is in that row of promoted. This customer is still in my listing. He clicks there and goes to my listing again to my I kept this customer paying peanuts for it, and only if the item sells. And only if that item sells. I could lose that sale, but I'm going to keep it, and it will cost me only 2, 3, 4%. I've only started to deliberately targeting those rows of my own item with my own items. I was targeting those garbage placements, but targeting those rows is something that I do for maybe 2 months, maybe more. Maybe I started in September thinking about it, but I already have a success with it, at least some success with it. I will show you something now. This is an extreme example, but I want to show you that example because it's like a loud and clear example what you can do. Okay, guys, this is one of my listings, right? These are just 3 pairs of cheap, unbranded workwear trousers. It doesn't matter what it is. This is a super extreme example that I want to show you. But like I've said, I want you to see it and hear it loud and bloody clear. Yeah? 3 pairs of trousers. Let's have a look at these similar sponsored items. This is my listing. This is my listing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all my listings. So we've got 7 listings out of 12 in a first row. Let's have a look in the second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all my listings. And those 2 as well. Again, 7 out of 12 in a second row. If I had more of those lots, I will have them all. I would have them all. I've got exactly 8 lots like that. 8, 1, and 7. Got it? The problem is the solution. I had a problem with eBay showing another items on my listing. Now I'm occupying half of those spots, and I have lowered down the probability of customer clicking out of my listing. Or rather, I've gained a chance that if they will do it, they will go straight to another listing that is mine. This is extreme example, but like I said, it shows it loud and clear. eBay, if you look at it, eBay does a great job. eBay sends a customer to a listing, and even if that's an organic click, customer is in the listing, and the only way to get out of this listing is to click on promoted listings, and eBay makes extra money. This is brilliant from eBay's perspective. You can complain about them, about those sponsored items, or you can pick up the fight. And it's that easy to pick up the fight. 2 words: similarity vector. When I have seen those trousers for the first time by an accident, I have clicked in my brain what the hell similarity vector is and how it works. By looking at those 2 rows of promoted listings, I said, this is it. Guys, do you have an Indian friend with Indian descent? If you have an Indian friend, go to them and ask them what is bypassing the system. This is what you have to do. You have to bypass the system and have something for nothing, or very, very cheap. Not for nothing, but for very, very cheap. You have to turn the problem into the solution. You have to find your own way to walk the things around. I will tell you and show you later in this video how to get those spots super cheap and that it can be done. For now, I will tell you how to populate those 2 rows in your own listing. So, what algorithm takes into consideration when analyzing your listing and finding those similarity vectors? That has been stated by eBay itself. It's the title, item specifics, and item description. I'm occupying those spots in those two rows thanks to my own item specifics. What do I mean by that? When you list your item, you go to item specifics and you can choose from the list of ready-made item specifics, or you can type in your own. And if you type in something that nobody else is using, and you will do it often enough or on enough of items, enough number of items, typing the same item specifics that nobody uses, then suddenly your listings become similar to each other. Do you understand what I mean? I hope you do. I'm not saying spam item specifics with some random string of letters and repeat that random string of letters on every single listing that you have. No, I'm saying think outside of the box. Figure out item specifics that looks innocent, but nobody else uses it. And thanks to that, your items will be similar to each other. I'll give you an example. Every time I list jeans, I put into features belt loops. Yeah? Belt loops. You can't choose them. You have to type them in. Is belt loops a feature of jeans? Hell yes. I bet there are jeans without belt loops. Is anybody other than me using it? Maybe, but I haven't seen it yet. So I've put that belt loops into my templates that I use to list jeans, and I don't even have to type them in. I just untick it when the jeans don't have belt loops, and that's it. Obviously, one item specific is not enough. You have to come up with more. It's super easy. The only thing you have to do is think, make yourself a list on a piece of paper. For this kind of items, I'm gonna use this. For that kind of items, I'm gonna use that. And just spend some time and make that list. For all black workwear trousers and black workwear skirts, I use word funeral in the theme. Are they good for the funeral? Yes, they are black, they are plain, they look smart. Yeah? So it's not spamming. That word funeral, it's not spamming. They are good for the funeral. It looks innocent. Does anybody else does it? I haven't seen it so far. And when you start combining funeral with belt loops, with something else, and with your standard item specifics that are there by the default, like for example, for jeans that will be cotton, because most of jeans are made out of cotton. It will be the denim as a fabrics, denim. Yeah, so you've got your own item specifics and you've got those item specifics that are there by the default, and when you start to combine them, suddenly you've got a situation where a number of your listings have the same 10 or 12 or 15 matching item specifics. And these listings are very similar to each other. I could give you 50 more examples, but I'm not going to, because I'm a bastard. No, I'm not going to, because it's simple. You just have to think and figure it out. Put them all into your templates and you won't even have to type them in every time you list an item. It's simple as a morning prayer. Yeah? Now let's talk about something else. What is the most important factor when we are talking about algorithm choosing which item to promote first above everybody else? in my honest opinion. However, I do understand and I do accept the fact that I can be wrong. But in my opinion, it's the age of the item. How long that item has been on eBay. Obviously, if item has been on eBay for 2-3 years and it hasn't sold, we can't blame algorithm that it thinks that this item is not very attractive for the buyers, and ending and selling similar does not help here. eBay knows, and in my opinion, it will be promoting newer items over older items vast majority of times, regardless of the promoting fee level. Regardless of promoting fee level. Okay, if that new item is at 3% and the old item is at 30%, it will probably go for 30. But if the new item is at 3% and the old item is at 5%, it will go for that new item at 3%. This is my experience. This is what I can see every single day, promoting at very, very low levels. I will show you in a moment why do I think so. And I applied this rule for years in my promoted listings. For years, I would say from 2019. Yeah, and it has worked for me. And the older the item is, the more I'm ready to pay to get rid of it. If the item is in the first 90-day cycles, I'm not going to promote it super high because there is a chance that it will sell anyway if I promote it at low. But if the item is 2 years old, that's a different story. I'm ready to promote it a bit higher. I will also show you in a moment how low can you go with your promoted listing fees when you deliberately target those garbage placements. Now, my experience with ad arbitrage plays a massive role here. Back in the days, I was paying 2-3 cents to get a visitor to my website, and when they have clicked on my ad that I had there, I was getting 50 cents, $1, $2, $5. And I do the same here on eBay. A sale is a sale. You will get the same amount of money for your item, whether you will pay 23% of promoted listings or 3% of promoted listings. You will get the same money. You will get the same sale. I don't care about search results, about being on top of search results. I don't care about that because I'm not ready to pay my 17% suggested ad rate. I'm not interested in this. I leave my top search results for my organic spot, for my organically items shown organically. For promoted listings, I'm only ready to pay peanuts to get a sale. Do I get less sales? Yes, of course. But I'm not mental enough to pay 17% and stuff eBay's pockets with my money. It's just not for me. If it works for you, fine, no problemo. It doesn't work for me though. Just be aware that when you will get the sale from garbage placement that you were able to get for peanuts, you will still be charged that premium fee that you are ready to pay for your top search results placement. That's the beauty of it from eBay's perspective. Charge you premium for garbage. Now imagine this scenario. You pay for outside promotion. You pay like 50 cents per click. Somebody comes to your listing. Then I steal this sale from that 2 rows of sponsored items, paying 2%. Possible? Not only possible, it happens. It happens super often. I get those sales. I'm there in those 2 rows and I get those sales. Otherwise, if that wasn't possible, why people are complaining about it? Is this immoral? Maybe, but I have to feed my children. And if I can get a sale dirt cheap, I'm not going to pass on it. I would rather be the one who steals than the one who gets robbed. Now let's go to my laptop and see few things that I was talking about. So we are in my advertising tab. That's 13 months, yeah? Time period, 13 months. So I've made £6,400 in sales, which is more or less a fifth of my overall sales, a fifth, yeah? So, as you can see, my ROAS is almost 31. What does that mean? For every pound that I spend on advertising, I get 31 pounds in sales. What does that mean? It means nothing. What I know is that out of those 31 pounds, I've got at least even after excluding that £1 that I've spent for ads, I've got at least 12 pounds profit. So I'm turning £1 in ads into at least 12, maybe 13, maybe 14 pounds in profit. After all said and done, after all my expenses, including diesel, phone, broadband, everything that I deduct from my sales, everything. So is it a good deal to get 12 quid profit out of 1 quid an investment? It's a flipping good deal. It's a very good deal. Let's have a look on something else. Average sold at rate 3.25. 3.25%. Not 20, not 15, not even 10, not even bloody 5. 3.25. Now, am I ready to give eBay half of my profits? Hell no. Am I ready to give eBay a fraction, a tiny little fraction of my profits to get some extra sales? Yes. Yes, I am. Thank you very much, eBay. Thank you very much, eBay. This is what I say, what I call a good investment in ads. Now, what I want you to see now is, these are my campaigns. As you can see, I've got plenty. Now, let's start from the bottom. Campaign 2.0, that 0M stands for 0 months, that 2.0 stands for 2.0% promoted fee. So I list my listing, new item, I list it on eBay. I let it run for about 2 weeks without promoting it, and then it goes to this campaign. And it stays here for till the end of 90 days cycle, yeah? So for 3 months, it stayed here. Well, for 2.5 months, because for 2 weeks, it wasn't promoted at all. Then I end that listing and I do a proper, well, let's say, quote unquote, proper update of this listing. I change whatever I can and I move this listing to this campaign and I promote at 2.1%. And this indicates that this listing is 3 months old, yeah, 3M. Let it run for 90 days, do the update again, move it here, 2.2%, 6 months old listings. Move it up again, 2.3%, 9 months old listings. Moving up again, 2.4%. This 3 in a bracket. It used to be 3, but I'm changing it now to 2.4 because I'm not going to pay. I want to pay less. I want to pay less. So these are 12 months listings. Then they move up, 2.5, used to be 4, 15 months old listings. Then they move up, 2.6, used to be 5, 18 months listings. Then I move them here, 6%, 21 years old, 21 months old listings, and then 7%, 24 months and older. Now, I'm ready to pay a bit more because I want to get rid of those items. Let's face it, these items are shitty. I want to get rid of them even at the break-even point, even on a small loss. I just want to recoup some money out of them. That's why I'm ready to pay more. Now, let's have a look at impressions, clicks, and sales. Now, look at this. 300 items in that first campaign. 186 items in that 6 months campaign, 3 months campaign. 278 in that 6 months campaign. 157 in that 9 months campaign. And it's going up. Look, it's like a funnel. The higher they go, the less of them is there. Yeah, I know this is anomaly here, but it's gonna be anomaly everywhere. You know, everything you do, there's gonna be, you know, exception from the rule. What I'm trying to say is, guys, the newer the listing is, the more impressions they get, the more clicks they get, the more sales they get. Look at this. If I take my 0 months listings, 3 months listings, 6 months listings, yeah, so altogether, these listings are 9 months or younger, yeah, there is way much more sales in those 3 campaigns than it is in the rest of them. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? The newer the listing is, the faster it sells, even via promoted listings, and the more money it brings. Look, £500 in the lowest percentage fee, then 240 in 2.1%, then 219 in 2.2%, then 120 in that 2.3%, and so on and so forth. 0 at 6%, 0 at 6%, and £31 in 7%. Do you get me, guys? Do you get me? I'm ready to pay more as my listings go older. But really, I'm not paying more because there is no difference between 2.0% and 2.6%. There's no difference at all. It's just pennies in fees, pennies. You can get those sales cheap as chips. You don't have to pay a lot. A fifth of my sales comes from promoted listings, and I pay peanuts for them, peanuts. So it's just for you. I'm showing that to you just so you can think about it. Just think about it. Why would you promote an item that is 1 month old at the same rate that item that is 5 years old? Why would you? This item that is fairly fresh, fairly new, it still has a better chance to sell than that item that is 5 years old, no matter what's the difference in promoted listings, fees. So there is no point to promote them at the same rate. Yes, you want to get rid of those items, those old items, yeah, promote them high. But try to promote those new items lower, save yourself money. They will sell. This is the proof. 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6. Literally 90% of my sales is below 3%. Yeah, it's only 3 sales out of them all. Only 3 sales out of them all are above 3%. Impossible? Well, I've just shown you that it is possible. Okay, guys, that would be it. I think I've shown you everything I know about promoted listing, guys. If something will come to my mind, I will record another video, but I think I've covered everything that I know. Remember one thing, guys. What works for me doesn't have to necessarily work for you, and vice versa. Everybody's business is different. We sell different stock in different countries and different price points. One wants to move items quickly. One wants to wait for a top-notch price. Yeah. Take everything with a pinch of salt. What I want you to do is to think about it. Yeah. Think about it. Apply your brain. Don't be a sheep. I'm not telling what to do. Well, I kind of do, but I'm showing you how can you can apply some strategies to your advantage, not to eBay's advantage. And I want to show you that one man's garbage is another man's treasure. And I have no idea why all those reselling YouTubers don't understand that they can apply it to promoted listings the same way that they apply it to items that they sell. They say, look, I've bought this, somebody else's garbage, somebody else's treasure. Yeah? Yeah, but they don't apply it to promoted listings. That for somebody, they don't understand that for somebody, those garbage placements can bring a lot of sales. Don't forget to click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Remember that I'll try my best to read every single comment, so feel free to share your thoughts. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. God bless you all. Bye bye.